fine and everything.
This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts in 3 Counts.
Cover! We got it, the new world champion!
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts in 3 Counts is the podcast, baby! It's the real deal, baby!
Knockouts in 3 Counts starts now.
Whoa, what up, though? It is another Tuesday. I have survived another day at the post office, and this is Knockouts in 3 Counts. And man, we're getting awfully fucking close to Circle 6 Catalyst. It's coming back here to Detroit at the Jam Handy. So, as promised, if you guys hit that subscribe button like we were telling you to do on Twitter and all those things, we are going to be giving out some tickets for Circle 6 Catalyst. We've already got the winners on tap. If you guys stay tuned, I'll let you know who that's going to be, and make sure you're checking your DMs so I can get with you and get you information and all that. So now that we've gotten all that shit out of the way, I thought, like we said, we were going to have a run through a guess who. You don't know who it's going to be from Circle 6 Catalyst, and we've got one of the first ones tonight. We've got Vinnie Massaro. How you doing, brother, man?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Not too bad, brother.
Good.
Doing well, man. Doing well. Like I was saying,
I'm really glad you're not. You didn't. I'm really glad you survived another day at the post office. I might be giving out my age, but back in when I was a little bit younger, that was actually a thing. Like it would be.
Oh.
It was. They used to call it going postal.
Oh, it's still a thing, dude. I promise.
I don't know.
It's still totally a thing.
Okay, I just want to make sure. That's the thing. So I always want to make sure you survived another day at the post office. Good job. It's good.
You're not kidding, man. These people be crazy, man. I was just telling the story about this the other day. So you never know what you're going to see. Now, I've been a carrier and I've been a clerk, so I've done the full gamut over there. I will never forget. I was delivering mail at the Michigan Dialysis Center and walking up to go in the building to go give them the mail and whatever. And as I go to walk up, there's like this little old lady that's there. But like when you see somebody and you can tell somebody's either not all there or like they're cracked out or whatever.
Like the Kogor brothers. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, wait a minute. That's something we got to talk about a little bit.
Talk about it later. We'll talk about
we gonna talk about it. Shout out to Mike from Circle 6. He has definitely laid in a few good things for us to talk about. All the more reason for all of you guys who are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And you know how we do here. Drop down in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Roll call, all that good shit. But to finish the story so you guys can laugh at my expense. So anyway, this lady, I go to walk in and she said something to the effect. She said something else, but I couldn't make it out that much. The only thing I remember hearing was something to the effect of, "Are you single?" And I'm like, she didn't just say what I thought.
Oh snap! I was not expecting that. When you were,
right? See? And then so I walked.
Beating cheeks.
Not at all. Not in this situation. Not at all. I went to go walk back out and see, Corey, this is one of the things you don't have to worry about with that little scruff you got down there. I walked back out and the lady walked up to me and she's like, let me get, I swear she had been cracked out, but she was like, let me get them digits. And starts trying to grab a hold of my beard and shit. And I instantly just felt let me go disinfect my shit. So yeah, going postal is definitely a real thing. It is definitely something that can happen, and I can't confirm or deny having snapped on a supervisor too. So I might have contributed to said problem, but I survived. I didn't get fired. Hell yeah! We're taking you inside and outside of wrestling, man.
I'm guessing this is in Detroit. I'm guessing, right?
I work in Ann Arbor, but yeah, we're based out of Detroit. So I'm right down the street from where U of M plays.
Wow. Yeah. It's definitely it was my first time wrestling in Detroit, what was it, 2 months ago, and I was just like, wow, this is an interesting place for sure.
What up, though?
That's for sure. I've been to quite a few cities throughout this lovely country of ours, and there's a I mean, it's a hometown charm, of course, right? Growing up here, but there's something about Detroit, man. It definitely leaves an impression, whether good or bad. It leaves.
There's definitely something about Detroit. That's a very nice way of saying it. Yes.
I feel like Vinny's got some bad experiences that happened in Detroit that he's just waiting to let come out here.
Not at all. No, not at all. I remember just driving by and I'm just like, I go, man, so this because I mean, I've never been to Detroit, and I was just like, I'm waiting, I'm watching things, and I'm just taking it all in. The area where we wrestled was actually nice, but I was like, I'm just like waiting for like like the trailer parks and like all that stuff that I see in the.
He was expecting 8 Mile.
Yeah, I was expecting like 8 Mile or something, or but it wasn't. It was fine. It wasn't, but like Cleveland, that's a shithole. But we have another.
I mean, hey, we're from Michigan, dude. So U of M fans aren't the biggest fans of Ohio State fans. So we've got a thing we like to call the Ohio State guys over here. My part of the week calls them the fuck guys. So just saying,
I'm going to steal that if you don't mind. The fuck guys.
Please do.
Because the next day it's Cleveland. It's the Cleveland.
Donald said take him to Brightmoor. Fuck that. Yeah. He said take him to Brightmoor.
Wait, what is that? I don't.
It's like a little side. It's like a little side suburb, like not suburb, little side area off from Detroit. So it's not right in Detroit, but just outside of Detroit. Shit can get a little gnarly in Brightmoor. We can just put it that way. Yeah, it can get a little gnarly in Brightmoor.
I think like the show's gonna end probably like around 2 a.m. So I'll pass. I'm perfectly okay with it. I mean,
J-Bone lives.
I swear.
I'm from Stockton, so I'm sure it's nothing I've never seen. But Stockton was the murder capital of the world, so I'm sure it's nothing like crazy that I'm like, oh my god, no, what is happening? But still, I don't want to like be that far away from home and witness all this too either.
As somebody who grew up in a less privileged area as well, you can understand. You just got to keep your eyes open. People hype that shit up like it's the worst thing in the world, and as long as
as long as you know, hey, you're an idiot. You're going outside at this time, and you're by yourself. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I get it. But I was just kind of like, I'm watching, and I was like, oh, it's not so bad. I'm thinking, it's just, there's just a mess everywhere. But no, it was. No. I liked. Honestly, I liked the show. I liked the venue. I love the venue, and the fans were great. The fans were amazing. So I mean, I don't have anything. Don't really have anything bad to say about Detroit.
I mean, I will say Detroit, you're either going to get one or the other, especially when it comes to the wrestling crowd, right? Because we were just there at SmackDown, ring the fucking bell. That crowd on Friday was gnarly, but I've also been to shows where they just kind of like not necessarily sat on their hands, but they were tougher to deal with. The other fun thing with a Detroit fan, especially for somebody who's a heel, just be forewarned. If you're going to get in the ring and start talking shit to the crowd, there's a good chance that you might get a drunk fuck that'll try to hop the rail.
I mean, that's also happened before. And I mean, it is, we pro wrestlers, we have this thing. It's like, don't touch the fans unless they step into the ring. And then it's free reign. We can do whatever the hell we want, which is fantastic.
So, I mean, you just said that there's stories of it. If you'd like to tell said story, feel free to.
There's stories. I mean, listen, there's, we are, just random stuff that like people will, people come in and like they have a chair and they think like, oh, I want to be part of it. And they hit me with, they like hit me with the chair, but they don't know how to, they're just kind of like playing around. But I don't know what's happening. I look back and I see a fan attack me with a chair. I'm thinking this guy's going to like start, wailing on me. So I just went to my MMA background, a single leg takedown, and just started ground and pound. And then the referee grabs me. He's like, "No, dude, he's drunk." I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm just, once they get in the ring, we think the worst. We think that this guy's gonna like, so we just gotta protect ourselves. So shit happens. So please, fans, do not get in the ring. It's not because the other thing that happens is the fans
just happened at Capital Pro.
Oh my god. Okay, wrestling fans, please do not jump in the ring because the only other thing that happens is the locker room will clear and get in the ring and kick the fans' ass because as wrestlers we like, hey, if any fan ever jumps the ring, it is okay for wrestlers to go in and take care of them. So if we hear that, we're like, this is our chance. This is our like one chance that we haven't had in like some people never get that chance. So the locker room will clear. You will get a bunch of angry wrestlers, taking care of you because we're all, it's a brotherhood and we're all trying to protect each other. So don't do it. It's not smart.
It's not good for your overall health.
It's just very bad. But I get it. Sometimes you get drunk and you're like, oh, I want to help. I think I can. Well, it always ends up bad. So please don't do it.
Well, you mentioned in saying that, you mentioned your MMA background. So before we get into Circle 6, before we get into how you got into wrestling and all those things, tell me about your MMA background. Tell me what it consists of, all your training, all that good stuff, because our show covers both pro wrestling and all combat sports. I've been training since I was 13 myself. I got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, fought a few times boxing, and we just like I say, you never know who you're going to see in the box. First of all, before I forget, shout out to last week's guest, or no, 2 weeks ago's guest, Christine Faria, on defending her 125-pound BKFC World Championship in one of the quickest finishes I've ever seen. That took what, 30 seconds?
Bare knuckle.
Yes.
Nice.
30 seconds, right?
Yeah, it was,
And how much?
I believe it was like 42 or
125. 125.
Is it the 125 or 135? Because I thought
it was 125 because Britain dropped down to 15.
125 and it's
that's
30
what I
seconds.
was
She must have been just dropping bombs.
She came out machine gun, bro. And the thing is, she used to fight. So she used to fight MMA for like Invicta and a few of the others. So she's been around for a long time. But the thing I noticed with Christine, and this is something we talk about a lot when it gets to like the MMA and combat sports side of things. Like, I think that's the biggest difference you're seeing right now in like a sports like bare knuckle, because you're seeing a lot of MMA guys and girls go in there, but I feel like the most dangerous ones in bare knuckle are the ones that are either the MMA people that know how to use the clinch, because in bare knuckle you can use the clinch as long as you're still punching, or the straight slick boxers, because man, like either one are just either catching dudes on these counters or destroying people in the clinch. And I just feel like Christine came out and put it on her with a vengeance. You know, Donald chiming in the comments, he said, he said that Starling quit.
It was unfortunate to see for sure, because you've seen that she just got hit and wanted nothing to do with it. And I've seen Taylor Starling work her way up into this title bout. I don't know if you've caught any of the bare knuckle stuff up to this point or not, but it's so entertaining to me, man. I'm a month.
I watch bits and pieces of it. You can tell dirty boxers are the ones that usually get the advantages, but you can tell it's like counter punches, and you can tell that a lot of people do quit because they're like, yeah, sure, I did MMA, I can do bare knuckle, and then the first time they get hit with that bare knuckle, it's like jarring. You know what I mean? It's like they're like, whoa, like wait a minute, I don't like this. This sucks.
Donald brings up a good point. Go ahead.
That's the biggest thing I was gonna say before we wrap over. Ferreira, her big thing, I feel like, not only is she outskilling these girls, don't get me wrong, she's absolutely showing that. Her mentality in there, man, she just looks like an animal in there compared to these other girls, and it looks like it's really the intimidation factor is really there in her favor, man. She's getting every single one of her opponents seems to immediately be, even if they're trying to step forward and then attack, mentally they're on the back foot the whole fight. And it's apparent as soon as they get in there. I mean, you've seen that with the Starling fight this last weekend. I mean, as soon as she just really, because Taylor Starling landed a solid shot in the first like 10 seconds. You could see it even kind of stumbled for her a little bit, and she just bit down on her mouthpiece and said, okay, that's what you got, and then landed 2 or 3, and Starling's like, yeah, all right, yep, that is what I had, and you took it and then bombed on me. Yep, I'm done. Like, that's
the first time I've ever heard somebody say in a post-fight interview that literally straight up say, like, she overwhelmed me and I couldn't see and I couldn't take no more. I have never physically heard somebody say, I thought she broke her orbital bone when it first happened. Yeah. That's why if you look at our Twitter, I said, man, we got to see this ran back. Until I heard the post-fight interview where she was just like, no, she overwhelmed me and I didn't want no more. And again, this is not any disrespect to Taylor Starling, because like we were saying when Christine was on the show, we're fans of Taylor Starling. I was looking forward to seeing that fight, and I thought it was going to be a war. But I mean, again, shout out to the champ. She did the damn thing. Here's another thing. You talk about people coming over. Jack Gallagher made his debut in BKFC and picked him up a dub too, man. So Gentleman Jack left WWE and now is throwing hands over there in bare knuckle and picking up W's, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think I kind of want to see him fight again.
Is that your late career transition? We see you start to take over the wrestling world, and then you're like, I've gotten enough of this. Let me show what these knuckles can really do. Is that what we see?
Me? No, not at all. So because I live in Stockton, and if Diaz Brothers, there's gyms everywhere. There's like jiu-jitsu gyms, there's MMA gyms everywhere. So like 10 years ago, I started like training. I went to the gym. I went to the Taurus Academy over in Stockton and just started training. And I did Diaz Brothers to show up. I would roll around a couple of times here and there. This is before they got their gym in Lodi. So, I would just it was just for fun. Like, it was like, hey, let me just show up. Let me roll around. Let me learn some stuff. And then I started getting good. I was like, hey, the guy was like, dude, you're actually like really good. You should like try to like join a gym like legit and come like, on a daily basis. So, I started going to, this training school, Oakdale MMA. I started training with a lot of guys that were like have fights, like Michael McDonald. I don't know if you remember him. He was in the UFC and WEC. He was one of my coaches, and we would just train. And I started doing boxing, MMA, catch wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, I was kickboxing. I was doing it all. Like every day there was like there was like 2 classes a night, so I was just doing it all, and I loved it, and I started getting better at it. Started getting better, and I was gonna start having like some like amateur fights, but then I got a contract for Lucha Underground, and I was like, okay, well, that's it. I can't go, because what happened after that, I started training in Lucha Libre, because obviously I was going to be Lucha Underground. I started doing that. So I stopped training MMA and I started doing, Lucha. But I still train MMA every now and then. Like I still roll around. But I will say one thing. It's a young man's game. Because, you know what I mean? It's like no matter what, like I was in my 30s, and I was just like, all right, let me roll around with this kid. It's like, 18. The problem is that kid literally wakes up, goes to train, goes home, takes a nap, goes to train, goes home, takes a nap, goes to train. Me, I'm going to my regular job. I'm going home, and then I'm training. And, the thing that I would do in a week, he would do in like 2 days. So it's a young man's game. So I just realized, like, you know what? I can do it. It's fun because I love training. I love boxing. I love getting hit in the face because I'm a fucking idiot. So it was, it was fun because we would have like the heavyweight guy would have like he would have like a fight, and they were like, hey, Vinny, I need you to go and spar with him, be like his sparring partner, so he can get used to wrestling and fighting a heavier person. And I always thought that was cool, and I would put him through the ringer and do like, this guy, his opponent is like a boxer, so go ahead and start throw like a lot of shots. And that was fun. But like to the point where I need to train every single day and just do, you can't do it. Once you reach a certain age, it's, it's very hard to do. Especially since I don't have I'm not like an amateur, background where I can just rely on.
Right.
I'm like, hey, I'm an Olympic, amateur wrestler. I don't have to train in everything. I can just rely on my wrestling to just take them down and ground and pound. So it's, but I loved it. It was fun, and I still do it. And every now and then, I do some stuff in my wrestling matches, and I still am the Grandmaster of Sicilian Jiu Jitsu. So you never know what's gonna happen.
Well, now that we've talked a little bit about the MMA side, I mean, let's take it over to the wrestling side. How do you go from, did you start with wrestling first, or
Yes.
or were you doing MMA first? So
no, I did pro wrestling. I did amateur in high school and stuff like that. Yeah. Then I did I started when I was younger. I did Russian Sambo because there was one of my friends that I knew, trained that, so he trained me a little bit. But then I started pro wrestling. I started pro wrestling training when I was like 16 years old, so very young age. And MMA came after, once after I was a pro. Well, still being a pro wrestler, I was doing training in MMA. So it's just now what I do is I like to incorporate a lot of the MMA stuff to to my
to your repertoire.
To my pro wrestling matches. Like for instance, I don't know if you guys I don't know if you have watched clips of me on Twitter, but you guys remember when Daniel Cormier fought Dan Henderson? He also
Yes.
fought like he would get like the high crotch and like lift and tilt,
Yeah,
spin
the
like
up
that.
and
So I
over.
remember, on Strikeforce. So I remember like watching that, and I was like, I can make that into a wrestling move, and I do. So like I grab the high crotch, I flip, and I do a driver. So I call it the Daniel Cormier driver. So so
That's the
stuff like
clip.
that.
I am showing this to DC tomorrow because you know what? He's a huge wrestling fan too. God damn it. You just made the clip easy.
Yeah. So I mean, and plus too, I helped train Cain Velasquez into his pro wrestling. When he was wrestling for AAA and when he was wrestling for WWE.
No shit.
Cain Velasquez came to my school because we're in the same neighborhood. So he came to my school and I taught him how to basically be a pro wrestler. And in return, like he would like, hey man, I go, hey, can you show me some things? And he would show me some like, show me how to do a triangle, easier. And he showed me how to do, stuff like that. So yeah, MMA is big in my, is big in my world still.
No, I love it, dude, because I started training. So I started training at 13. I got into like jiu-jitsu in the MMA world in 2006. So like right at the tail end of like when they were doing the no holds barred stuff to when MMA was basically illegal in most of the states. So now when
fighting.
right, and you're just getting into, and came in at the time when you're basically getting the guy, you got Jim Bob Cooter out of fucking Detroit, who's 30 and 25, and he's a street fighting specialist and shit. Street fighting specialist was my favorite because that just meant you didn't train at all. You just fought in the street and thought that you could get in the cage, and that was what was going to happen.
Just wearing like tap out like board shorts that he got. You know what I mean? Just some random like board shorts, that you got from Walmart.
Half the time it ain't even board shorts. They're like the N1 shorts and shit. Like we can't even get tap out shorts. You're wearing like N1 shorts and shit.
It's like the big dog shorts or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Just
Jinko jeans and shit.
Just gigantic shorts. Yeah, like just massive shorts and stuff. I remember those. Days were the best. Those are man. That's when like Chuck Liddell was the greatest fighter of all time.
Dude, Chuck Liddell ruined my 16th birthday, bro.
Why?
I flew all the way to Georgia to see this motherfucker fight Rashad Evans, and I will never forget in my life. The guy that was in the row in front of us was pro Rashad. In the first round, if you remember, Chuck was kind of giving him the work the first round. I'm like, you see, he's about to give it to him. Next round, I'm like, yeah, he's giving it to him. Wow. And I just,
that was
fuck. And this guy turned around and just gave it to me.
I remember watching because the Rampage fight, like he lost, but it wasn't like, it wasn't, he got caught. It wasn't like, oh my God, you got freaking killed. But dude, that Rashad fight, just murdered.
Yeah.
Like, unplugged from the Matrix, just dead. You know what I mean? Just like, that was so brutal. So brutal.
Can we not talk about Iceman getting KO'd, please? You're all right, J-Bone. I won't bring up the fact that he ruined he ruined my 16th birthday. But like I said, we gotta
let's remember Chuck Liddell in his prime against
Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture. I like that.
Horn. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tito Ortiz, those guys. Babalu. Remember when he just killed Babalu?
Babalu Sobral.
Oh my God, he was murdering people. Anyway,
I love this, man. We're gonna have you come back on the show and just like pick some fights and shit with us one of these days, man. But like I said, we got to switch over to the wrestling side because I've already got a couple questions for you in there. Donald bringing up that he watches Prestige and let's see where we at. Prestige, West Coast Pro and Prestige all the time. So I was doing my digging and looking at your social medias and all that good stuff. I mean, we talked about you being in wrestling before you got into MMA. First of all, what got you into it? Who were some of your favorites? And I see that you're helping train guys now. So how does that help you elevate your game over there at West Coast Pro?
Oh man, so I was born in Sicily, so it's not a gimmick. I am Sicilian. And it was weird back then when in Sicily they would show New Japan Pro Wrestling because Tiger Mask was like a really popular cartoon in Sicily, so they would show New Japan Pro Wrestling. I remember like being little, just watching like Tiger Mask wrestle, and Riki Chosu and like Inoki, and I would just keep watching. I loved wrestling when I was young, and I moved to the States when I was 10, and I watched WWE, and I was like, this isn't, it was WWF. I was like, this isn't what I was on. This isn't New Japan. This isn't wrestling. This kind of, it's kind of garbage. So I started watching more like NWA, wrestling, because I remember I recognized Great Muta, and they would show a lot of the Japanese wrestlers. So I like NWO better. But then like a few years, I just stopped watching because I got bored of it. And then I remember like 16 years old, we were just, me and my friends were like looking online and just doing some dumb stuff. And then we were looking at like, just message boards about fights and just underground fights. And there, everyone's like, you guys got to watch this stuff. It's the craziest pro wrestling thing. And I'm pro wrestling, man, I don't want to watch it. He goes, no, you have to watch it. And it was ECW. And I remember watching, like, it was like 1996, and I was just remember like watching this, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, they were just beating the living shit out of each other, like Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Public Enemy, the Eliminators, the Gangsters. And they were just like, oh my God. I was like, dude, this is the greatest. And I was back into wrestling, and I started watching wrestling again. But obviously, because the ECW wasn't on TV, you would have to go to like the message boards. Sorry, I'm dating myself again. Yes, we have websites and message boards. And I would go and check the clips and the results. Well, they also said like, hey, there's something called indie wrestling. You guys should check out. And I was like, what the hell is indie wrestling? Like, I had no idea what that even meant. And then I checked out, there was a school where I used to live in Hayward. It's called All Pro Wrestling. They had a gym war, so it was kind of like their hardcore, because back then at that time everything was hardcore. So I went there, and they were like, hey, if you want, you can join our school. And I was like, how is that even possible? Like, how do you join a school to be a pro wrestler? And I joined, and I told him I was 18, but I was actually like 17. And thank God he didn't check my ID or anything. And just started training, and then just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. I moved out of my parents' house and moved in the gym, actually, so I can just be there all the time. And my trainer was Michael Modest. My very first day there,
from Beyond the Mat, right?
From Beyond the okay, so Beyond the Mat, the school with the cat, the guy that's where I'm at. If you look at Beyond the Mat, like in the beginning when they're shooting, like, and like they're walking through the garage, I'm in there for like 3 seconds. I was like 17
no
years
shit
old. Yeah, you can see me like a little. I'm like 17-year-old. I'm just like, you can see me like for 3 seconds. But my first day there was Spike Dudley's last day there. Like, Spike Dudley taught me how to bump, and then the next day he went to Philadelphia and started wrestling for ECW. So I came from that school. But my main trainer was Michael Modest. Manny Fernandez helped train me a little bit. And then later on, when I started doing Lucha Libre, I got trained by Lady Apache and Skyday.
Okay.
So I know how to do all those cool little counters and llaves and all that good cool stuff. And I just started getting good at it, and I started training people. And now I have my own school at West Coast Pro Wrestling in Pacifica, California. And I have a lot of students. I trained some famous people. If Zachary Wentz is watching, I'm sure he's gonna love this. I trained the great
past guest to the show.
Yeah, I trained the great Khali, so I'm sure he's gonna be the only one that likes
the great Khali. Holy shit, that had to have been hard.
Oh, it's not a fun time, let me tell you. But I just try to get him ready. Try to get him ready to wrestle in like 3 months. I think I had like 4 months, because they were like, we had to ship him over to Japan like ASAP. So try to get him ready for in 4 months. Like I said, train Cain Velasquez, because he was gonna wrestle for AAA, and he just it was like it was in secret. Like, they didn't want people to know he was training,
right?
So I couldn't take pictures or anything. But then afterwards, when he went to WWE, I trained him for that. And then even after WWE, he still kept coming in. And still training. By the way, free Cain Velasquez.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was waiting for you to finish.
Free Cain.
I was gonna say it as well. But...
And I love training. I love training. I love, I got a lot of good kids right now. And West Coast Pro, man, we're the home of the killers. So I'm trying to change the pro wrestling world for the better. I'm trying to get rid of all the bad shit that's happening in pro wrestling, all the carnies, all the people that just try to abuse their power, and I'm just trying to make it a better place for the future.
That's cool. And doing the kids program like that, man, that's got to be cool with all these little getting all these little kids in there and showing them all these skills young like that, man. I mean, if they really do end up pursuing it, that's what
right.
the stars are made of, is, I've been doing this since I was 8 or 9 years old, or
right.
stuff like that.
Well, it's funny because like one of the people that my assistant coach is Starboy Charlie, and he started when he was.
I'm a fucking fan of that kid, by the way. If next time you see him, tell him I said that, because man, I watched him versus it was him versus Marco Stunt, and I remember I saw that match at Homecoming, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to see this shit. And them two dudes went out there and fucking killed it. So I was instantly a fan of Starboy Charlie. So yeah, if you hear this, the door is open. You're more than welcome to come on the show.
I'll let him know. Yeah, no, it's me. The school is me. I'm the head trainer, and Starboy Charlie is my assistant trainer. He teaches the beginner class and helps me teach semi-pro class. So yeah, we're just trying to, like I said, trying to make it a better place.
I respect it. Well, like I told you, we pride ourselves in going into the weeds with everything when we're trying to figure stuff out. So you said that you were a big fan of ECW. I also read that Vic Grimes is your brother, if I'm not mistaken.
My wrestling brother, but yes. I mean, it's so when I started APW, I will, because I was young and I lived at the gym. Vic also lived at the gym. And basically, Vic became my brother. Like, everybody thought he was like my Jill, but he's my brother. You know what I mean? He's, just because he's not blood related, but he is my brother. My debut was as the Grimes. We were the Grimes brothers. He still calls me, every night, once in a great while, he'll call. Right now he's older, obviously retired, but every time he calls me, we're just like, he calls me his little brother. So. Yeah, Vic Grimes was definitely a big part of my career for sure.
I like it. Well, the other thing that a little birdie told me would be something that we should definitely talk about, and you've already alluded to it, so now I kind of have to. Tell me where this beef comes from. Tell me the story with you and the Kogar brothers, man, because man. I was doing my looking, and shout out to Mike from Circle 6. He said to make sure I ask about that on the air. So I will leave that to you to tell said story.
I mean, you ever just meet somebody that just rubs you the wrong way? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they just because like I'm old school, obviously, and yeah, I'm old. People call me old. But those like, especially the Atticus, they got such shitty attitude about, they think like they walk around like their shit don't stink, and I'm like, dude, like calm down, like, you know what I mean, like, you got a big name, and you gotta, everyone thinks you're just hot shit, but dude, come on, it's there's I've been doing this in September it'll be 25 years. I'm not saying you gotta like kiss my ass, but just show a little bit of respect. And from the very first time that I saw them, first it was Atticus. I met Atticus, no respect, like they didn't, didn't shake my hand. And I know it's like, oh, well, what do you mean? Oh, you're old timer, you gotta shake. But yeah, but just show a little bit of respect. And he didn't do it. And then I met his brother, and his brother was even worse. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, and then I realized it goes, oh, it's just the way they were, they're just raised, and I don't listen. You don't have to like everybody. It's just like a job. Do you like everybody at the post office?
Definitely not.
I don't have to like those guys. I can trust me. I'm perfectly okay with wrestling those guys and not liking them. And I honestly, like, I can't wait. I can't fucking wait to beat his ass on in Cleveland, just because just sometimes you need some guys.
Wow, shooting out singers.
Sometimes you need like sometimes you need, to teach some guys a lesson. You know what I mean? And you can't teach. You try to teach them in the back, and they don't listen. And sometimes you got to teach them in the ring. And I swear, you know what? I'm going to be Atticus' #1 fan in Detroit because I really, really hope he wins that title. I really fucking hope he wins that title. Because then you know what? I'm going to ask for a match. Because you know what I mean? Because it's going to be. Oh man! If he wins that title, you know how much of a shithead he's going to be. He's going to be the absolute dirt worst. He's just, oh my god! Mm-hmm. But I really do hope he wins because then I'll be able to. Because then I want a piece of that title too. But I mean, I don't know.
I like it.
There's a lot of people. Jake Chris. Now that's a great person. I honestly, I hope Jake wins. I hope Ricky wins. There's Zach. There's a lot of great people in that match. It's gonna be a crazy match. With the ladders and the colors and all that. It's gonna be amazing. Man, I hope. I hope Atticus wins so I can. You
don't gotta sugarcoat it. You hope he wins so you can take the strap from him. Huh, damn it! That's what we're saying.
Awesome? God, that would just piss him off so much. If some old timer fucking took that belt away from him. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I know I just.
No, you're good, bro. This is the kind of shit that we want to hear.
I know. I didn't want to get all weird about it, and because I'm sounding old, like he doesn't respect the business. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, Donald, you're not wrong.
Jake Chris is the man. Jake Chris is the fucking man. So I really, honestly, I hope he wins, and I hope Atticus, falls off a ladder or something and hurts himself. That would be great too. And I hope his brother hurts himself because just yeah, exactly. I should win the Circle 6 belt and bring it back to the Bay. Call it the Bay Area belt. You know what I mean? But no, I just what? Last time in Detroit, Otis, fought in that in that glass match, and I was ringside. I was doing the commentary, and I was like, man, I hope this dumbass gets hurt and doesn't make it to the next day. And guess what? The dumbass got hurt and didn't make it to the next day. But then, of course, thanks to Atticus, he fucking had Masada, step in. So I had to wrestle Masada with like zero preparation for it. Got fucking skewered in my head. I had to pick wood out, for 2 days.
Masada's a gnarly thing for anybody. He's a past guest of the show too, so I feel your pain on that one. Not literally, but
honestly, man, I just fucking hate Cleveland. I'm not gonna lie. It's just such a shit town. It's just a shit town. It's depressing walking around there. The Kogar brothers are from there. They bring their whole family, and they're all just vile people. I just don't like them. I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be weird. Like we went from happy, talking about MMA to this. Oh my god.
It's all good. This is just making me want to see Circle 6 Catalyst all the more. Corey's going to be there live in the building. I'll be there live in the building. J-Bone's going to be there live in the building. But if you can't be there live in the building, make sure you guys are checking this out on Fite TV. You can get it on pay-per-view. Make sure you're checking it out. And, hey, you might see a couple familiar faces running our mobs on that pay-per-view. So, yeah, go buy the pay-per-view.
Yes.
But with that being said, you brought up one other thing that I had to talk about. I am a very big fan of what we saw from Lucha Underground. Tell me about your time there. What your thoughts of Lucha Underground were, and I don't know, man. What were because it was so different than a lot of the stuff we were seeing at that time. Like we had never really seen a wrestling company to where it was almost like, I mean, obviously people compare wrestling to like soap operas all the time, but it was one of the first wrestling companies that had like that movie style,
right?
Like story to it.
No, because it was 1,000 like that because I would get to the set because it was a set. They had a ring in there, but it was a set. All the people that worked backstage, they weren't like, these are all wrestling people. No, they were all people that worked for El Rey Network. They were all like, there's stunt people, there was wardrobe people, there was like, set designs, and they all worked for El Rey Network, and it was just it was amazing. It's kind of like that thing, like, when you look back at it and you're like, oh man, that was so awesome. Because at the time people were shitting on it. Everybody hated it.
Oh yeah, they were.
everybody thought it was garbage, but now everyone's like, dude, we fucked up. Because that, that was something different.
That was one that I always wanted to see live that I didn't get to because I liked it because it was so
amazing.
different.
Oh, dude, it was just, it was the most crazy fucking time. It was like the crowd was just, because and it wasn't. First of all, it wasn't paid. What do you call it? Because what did they say they were? They
Paid
were like
fans.
paid actors. Paid actors. It was actual. Like it was free. They would just give, it was like a studio audience. So like, how you like if you, you email Jeopardy and you get like tickets. It was just like that. You would get, but it was all fans from SoCal and everywhere. People fly in from everywhere to come watch it. So it wasn't like paid, paid fans to hey, cheer or else you're fired. It wasn't like that. They booed, they cheered, they do whatever they want. But no, it was crazy. It was great. I loved it. The locker room was amazing. Just everyone got along. Everybody wanted to perform, and it was really cool because the writers there, like Chris Joseph, and the other writers, they were all like super supportive. If I had an idea, for instance, like the velour tracksuit and the wife beater, that was my idea. I told them like, can I wrestle in this? Because I think that'll be kind of cool to pay. And they loved it, and they went with it. But it's just, it's one of those things like if in hindsight, like, when you look back at it, you're like, man, we needed this. We needed something different than just regular old wrestling, but people shit on it because, wrestling fans can't be happy never. You know what I mean? They always got to shit on
You're not wrong. MMA fans too.
Yeah. They can't, but then now, now they look back and, and they'll go, oh, Lucha Underground was so nice. I go, yeah, it would have been nice too for you guys to fucking say that while it was actually happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're not wrong, man. Because you hear such
while they're actually going, not
right,
not digging back in their past and saying, "Man, I wish we had something similar to this." Well, support them while they're here.
Exactly.
Well, speaking of supporting while they're here, and keeping things running and all that stuff. Before I get to talking about Circle 6 Catalyst, which we're going to announce who's going to win the tickets for Circle 6 Catalyst here in a second. Shout out to our sponsors, G3 Payroll and Tax and Accounting. If you guys got to get your shit together for tax day and all that good stuff, and when tax is coming up for 2023, Jack Gerard and the boys from G3 Payroll and Tax are the way to go. Tell them Knockouts and 3 Counts sent you. The link to all of their stuff is in the description. But as I mentioned, we are one of the proud sponsors of Circle 6 Catalyst. So tell me a little bit about what you've got in store, because I haven't seen an actual one-on-one matchup or anything set up as far as a match for you yet. So what do you got in store come Circle 6? And, what's on the agenda?
So, because the next day I'm having, this crazy match with Otis Hogar, I wanted to kind of, I told, the management, it's like, what, if you guys, don't mind, I kind of want to concentrate more on the Otis match for the Cleveland show. So I might be doing like the pre-show. So, a pre-show match, or just, you never know. I might just come out and do commentary just on Otis's match. Cause like that meme where it's like that guy's, is dressed nice and he's at a funeral and he's like, oh, I'm just here to see my hater, my number one hater, make sure he doesn't, he doesn't make it. That's what I want to do. I want to go to my number one hater, which is Otis Hogar. I want to make sure he doesn't, hopefully Hoodfoot will just beat the living shit out of him. And once again, he can't make it. And, cause that'll be fantastic. Honestly, I want to watch Otis Hogar get killed, and I want to watch that ladder match, because that ladder match
is
insane.
money.
That ladder match is going to be insane. The whole card. You have the whole card in front of you. That whole card is sick. Good Lord, it's like, honestly, if you look at Circle 6 top to bottom, it's one of the best wrestling cards that you'll see anywhere in any of the indies. It's got literally everything. It's got Eric Ryan, fucking king of the deathmatch. That motherfucker is insane.
Who said I was buying beers, you son of a bitch? That's what I want to know. Who said I was supplying the alcohol? Now, I'm not opposed to supplying said alcohol.
Listen, okay, first of all, whoever wins these free tickets, you have to buy me pizza and beer. That's just the way. That's part of the. That's
This
part
is
of
the
the
rules.
That's part of the rules. I mean, you're not.
That's part of the rules. You missed it. It's in the fine print of that tweet.
Fine print, very, very at the bottom of the bottom. I mean, it's you're not paying for a ticket, so you gotta buy me something. So we'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it.
Well, now that you threw it out there, so we at Knockouts and 3 Counts, show a lot of love and support to our guests. That means going out to shows and all those things, or like in Joel Bateman's case, I told him that if he beat Tommy Vendetta, that I would do a shoey with him, and I got roped into doing a fucking shoey the last time he was in the States. So you never know what'll happen at a show that we're at. So he said,
so you're gonna be there, right? You're gonna be there, right?
Both of us will be there, as well as our other co-host J-Bone.
Okay, so we gotta figure something out. We gotta do something. We gotta.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into it.
What's like a famous beer in the you gotta what is that? Detroit. What is that? No, I'm not. It's Faygo, right? Isn't that from Detroit?
Yeah,
like,
Faygo. Yeah.
Is there any kind of? Is there like a beer version of Faygo? Do they have that? Like
I
like
wish.
a Faygo, like hard cider or something? I don't know what, but is there anything?
I'm surprised they haven't.
I know. How come there is no like Faygo?
The seltzer train.
Yeah.
ICP, get on it, damn it! Faygo's been around for years and years. Some bitch, we need hard cider Faygo, I guess.
Yeah,
some rock and rise seltzer.
Yeah, I know. I've never had Faygo before, so maybe we'll have some of that. I've never had it before. What is it?
I'm with it. Whatever.
Right?
It's just it's just soda.
Yeah, like so the closest thing I ever drank to that, and I will say it was dangerous for me because Corey's known me for almost 20 years now. I drink way too much pop. See, that's where those not your father's root beer is a really big problem. Because they taste just like pop, and you'll drink through like a 6-pack of them bitches or an 8-pack of them bitches and forget that they're alcoholic, and then be like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I've been there, dude.
Stand up.
Fuck around and find out for real.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, we'll figure it out. You'll buy me something. I don't know what. We'll figure something out.
Hell yeah. We're going to get some.
I do want to get some Detroit. I do want to get some Detroit style pizza because I've always heard it's good.
Bro, you got to go to the Coney Island in Detroit. That's what Detroit's known for. You got to go to the Coney Island, bro.
There's a Coney Island of Detroit. Wait a minute, what is it?
Yeah, so you either got Lafayette, you've either got Lafayette Coney Island, or you got American Coney Island.
I think he's so confused on the concept to begin with. A Coney Island is basically a diner here in Detroit, right?
Oh, I thought it was like an actual Coney Island.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, wait a minute,
specialty,
I'm confused. Hold on. What is happening
With the specialty, they normally have fucking everything.
Which one do you like better, Lafayette or American? Let us know in the comments.
Lafayette is better. But what they specialize in is straight up chili dogs. Chili hot dogs. If you fuck with hot dogs and you fuck with chili, then we got the
bun.
best
I don't know
of them.
about that, but we'll figure it out.
Well, put it this way, bro. I plan to be off on Friday, so if you guys get into town early enough, we'll go get some fucking Lafayette before the show. And any of you guys who are listening and haven't hit the subscribe button yet, you need to be at this damn show that's coming September 9th. Make sure you do that. Make sure you check us out in Detroit.
Come say hi.
And if you, man, that's what I'm talking about. See, Donald, the first time we met Donald in person, he came buying beer. See, that's the kind of fans we like out here.
Yes.
So
yes, very nice. I like those fans too.
Yes, man, that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna show you Coney Island, and we're gonna see some people get fucked up at Circle 6, whether it's in that ladder match, whether Vinny's the one passing it out. Not Vinny. I said if he's gonna be passing it out.
Good job.
Very nice. I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to Circle 6. I'm looking forward to how all this is gonna play out, but I did say that there was going to be some tickets that were going to be given away. And I thought I made the instructions super easy, but apparently not. So with all that being said and everybody following instructions and all those things, the person that we're going to be leaving these tickets for, I'm going to get with Mike to get with you directly. I don't know if they're just going to leave your name at will call or how that's going to work. But because he did all 3 of the steps, he kind of wins by default. So
wrestling fans. God.
Hey, man. Hey, I appreciate you guys for watching this show. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button because he mentioned Jake Chris. Jake Chris could be coming to a screen real near you before we get to Circle 6. But with that being said, like I said, we didn't have too many that got all the steps. So the winner the winner of the tickets, or at least the first set of tickets we're giving away, is going to be Dave Adams at Dave Adams 1987. I saw you subscribed on the YouTube. I saw that you followed us on the Twitter and all that stuff. And now you are going to have some tickets, and you got to come have a beer with us and Vinnie Massaro September 9th at I almost said Cataclysm. That's BCWA. Catalyst on Fite TV. See all these C's and Cata and Clisms and all those things. And also along with us being in the building, Corey, we were talking about this last week and it hasn't really gotten announced yet. We're bringing friends to the show too, bro. So Megaran, who is the man behind Xavier Woods' theme song, he's on the new AEW video game. His new album, Live 95, was just on Billboard, and he was on the AEW We Are One compilation that they did just a few months ago. Megaran is going to be performing on September 10th here in Michigan. And a little birdie told me that there might be a little bit of a chance that there might be some tickets to his show on the 10th going out as well. So, like I said, if you're in the building September 9th for I keep saying cattle. I keep going to say Cataclysm. Jesus Christ. If you're in the building at the Jam Handy, go get your tickets, bro. Get your tickets. If you haven't bought them, we'll be in the building. Megaran will be in the building. And like I said, next week we will have a couple more tickets to give away. So like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And make sure you're on the lookout so you can see how you guys win your tickets. Shout out to Dave Adams. Like I said, if you're in the building, like I said, there will be tickets there for you. All I say is you got to come have a beer with us. I feel like it's a fair trade.
Good job. Yes, plenty of tickets at the door. Come by. Well, not plenty because it's probably going to sell out. But come to the show. There's going to be lots of tickets.
It looks like we're having a lot of beers that night. We need a KO3C pod Uber.
Officially sponsored Uber.
Please. I don't want to drive in Detroit in the middle of the night. That sounds horrendous. Please.
Horrendous or an adventure. It just depends on where you go, but it's all right. Hey, man, but like I said, so all the more reason you guys got to check out Circle 6. Like we all said, I am looking forward to that hybrid ladder match. I personally have never seen a ladder match where they all had to climb up their own specific ladder. Yes.
I would grab the other person's ladder and just start breaking it.
Damn it, that's what I said. See, I'm glad somebody else was thinking the same thing as me.
Just start smashing it. It's like, climb that bitch.
Right. Smash all the ladders so that they don't have a ladder to climb, and then even if they push you off your ladder, you still got to win because they can't climb your ladder.
Oh, dude. It's going to be so long. I can't wait. That's going to be the fucking coolest match ever.
Now, the interesting question, can they climb somebody else that is climbing their ladder? Interesting dynamic.
They got the right idea. Ladder politics.
Politics. What's the official ruling on that?
I don't know. How is that even possible? Like, let's say if RSP is climbing his ladder and like Atticus is like climbing.
Jump on his shoulders.
I don't know about that. No. There's no way. Because no, I don't think so. You have to have your ladder. I would be in a corner like fixing my ladder so I can just start hammering it and like wedging it in so I can climb it.
Hey, man, all I know is I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to what's going to happen the next night. We talked a little bit about you training with the Diaz brothers and all those things. Before I get to our last question, which we tends to give some pretty good content out of it, the locker room etiquette one, I got two more questions for you. So UFC we got this weekend. You got UFC Paris. In the main event, you got Cyril Gane versus Tai Tuivasa, the king of the shoey. Who is gonna win this fight? Who do you got on this one? Speaking of Mike, and in the man comes. Nah, that's not gonna work.
I like the clarification.
Yes. The number one ruling. There you go. I don't know, man. Heavyweight fights are like the worst to like figure it out because it's either like 10 seconds and they get caught, or it's 5 rounds and they're just so gassed. And you know what I mean? I have no idea, honestly. Who do you guys think?
Especially, I like your bold prediction because that's literally what Tai Tuivasa has the ability to put him to sleep. But Cyril Gane has shown an amazing job at being elusive. He's arguably the most elusive heavyweight that in the UFC, especially in the
It
upper
might,
echelon
yeah,
of the
it
division.
might be one of those like, oh my
Yeah.
god, please end this already, like please, oh my god,
It-
I have a feeling.
I
it's
feel
gonna
like
be
we're
one
either
of
going to
those-
see that or somebody's getting put to sleep. That's the only two ways I see this fight happening,
Right.
unless Cyril Gahn learns some jiu-jitsu.
Just caught real quick, or fourth, fifth round, they're just so tired they just lay on each other, and it's just like merciless. Just please tap or a decision, which I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, if Ty's able to cut the cage off properly and actually be in his face like he would need to, and keep him in front of him and not allow him to circle out. If he's able to do that and actually land some shots, Tai Tuivasa may be able to get him out of there early. I feel like what we're going to end up seeing, though, is probably a fourth round stoppage from Gahn.
Right.
I feel like he's going to start to wear on
Just super gas.
Tuivasa.
Just super
Yeah.
gas.
And
Just
Gahn,
laying on him, just doing like just those hammer punches where it's just like, please just tap. The ref's gonna be like, do something, and he's not gonna be able to do anything because he's super gassed, and he's just gonna like and finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, and Gahn's not necessarily somebody that does gas, at least to the normal standard that we see the heavyweights. So I feel like that's the direction it's going to go. I think Ty will end up swinging himself out through these early rounds, and then later on we'll see a finish because of it.
It's not gonna be. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be a fun fight, but whatever. Maybe I'm wrong.
Donald couldn't let this show go without his weekly fuck Brett and fuck GCW. But why fuck Rob Black? I don't even know who Rob Black is, but I guess it's fuck him too, according to Donald Holland. But man, so you don't know this yet, but it's a running thread. We keep saying it every week. Like the main event that needs to happen is Donald versus Brett Lauderdale. Is what needs to happen. Every week we get at least 2 or 3 fuck GCWs out of him. So, oh man! But with that being said, we got one other fight we got to ask you about. Like I said, we talked a little bit about you getting to train with the Diaz brothers. What are your thoughts on Nate's last hurrah, or maybe could it be with the UFC against Hamzat?
I know we talked about this before we started recording. I think Dana's just kind of fucking him around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think just Dana just putting him out to the wolves, so he can put over the young kid. And he's like, hey, you're on your, Dana's doing old school, wrestling booking. He's like, I know you're on your way out, so put the new kid over, and that's just what happening. He's gonna Nate's gonna, it's too much, man. It's just it's not a fair. It's not like a fair fight, but it's not a stylish. It's not a good
stylistic matchup for him.
Stylistic way for him. Yeah, it's not a good fight for him. So I think Nate's gonna, Nate's gonna go and be a boxer, go make a shit ton of money, go box.
Wait a minute,
Paul or the Paul brothers.
Hold on, though. You brought that up. Did you hear the fight that they're saying is proposed and is supposedly being talked about?
Anderson Silva,
yes.
God
damn it! Anderson Silva, be our savior and knock out Jake Paul.
No. Go look at it. Anderson Silva is the underdog right now.
Good.
Really?
Let me take him at underdog money. Hot damn it! Win me some money and knock his ass out.
He's minus 150. I'm like, go take that money right now because that's about to change.
Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised by that myself. I mean, I could see it being officially a pick'em because of the betting odds being what they are, but I would see Silva being a favorite myself, but being the way betting odds are, I could see him being a pick'em. But the fact that he's fairly significantly underdogging that's rather surprising.
Right. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, no, I think Nate's is gonna go and start doing boxing fights,
I want to see him and Jake Paul fight, though. I'd totally be down with that. But right now with this Anderson Silva one, Anderson Silva might beat Nate to the punch because I think Anderson Silva is going to fuck him up. But then again,
I think so.
The kid's showing if nothing else, he's got power.
Bro, I thought all those MMA guys were going to fuck up.
I thought Tyron Woodley was going to kill him, dude.
Yeah.
Anderson could save us all.
Save us, Anderson. Save us, Spider.
Instead of save us Y2J, it's save us Spider.
When it all started with Ben Askren, I was like, man,
Yeah,
he's
but
probably.
Ben Askren, we get it. I mean, plus, I
Yeah,
don't know.
Ben
I think
Askren couldn't strike his
I
way
was
out of a
like,
bag.
all right,
mean, I get
I-
it, but I mean, I think honestly, I think Ben Askren was just kind of like, give me how much do I gotta get paid? How much do I get paid just to take a fucking fall in the first
He got
round?
paid $1
And he
million,
was just,
if I'm not mistaken. That's more than he made for any of his UFC
hey,
fights. And
punch me in the face for $1 million. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. Shit.
that's what the fuck I'm talking about. I ain't mad at you. I've always said, people said, would you fight Floyd Mayweather for that kind of money? I said, fuck yeah, Will. Let's go. Like, I'm with it. Even if I get my ass whooped on live TV, we're going to be sitting pretty. And it ain't going to matter what the post office says then, because I'm be rich. But since I'm not rich yet, I guess I got to keep slinging the mail. But y'all are going to hopefully make us rich one day if you keep hitting that subscribe button. But the last question that I got to ask you before we get out of here has yielded quite the interesting list of answers. And now, before I answer this question, it's been answered by Josh Briggs, who you see on NXT, Stevie Ray, Booker T, Bischoff. We've had a bunch of people have answered it, and we've gotten everything from wash your balls to keep your baby mama out the locker room to bring your own wrist tape, bring your own squirt bottle. Obviously the easy ones like shake everybody's hands, and like Silas Young said, don't get too comfortable. If you had any pet peeves about the locker room, whether it be things that piss you off or any advice that you would tell somebody on the way in, what would it be?
If you're not part of the show, like if you're not a wrestler on the show, don't hang out in the back. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you put up the ring, sure, you can go back there, get some water, but don't hang out in the back. Don't sit down, just be out there, make sure, it just drives me crazy. People that are like, they like set up the ring, or they're there to just kind of help out, and they're hanging out in the back the whole time. I'm like, and then like you see wrestlers tired coming from their match, and they don't have a chair, or they'll grab a water, and there's no more waters. But the guy that has been hanging on the back, drank three waters, half drunk, forgot what they are, and you know what I mean. Yeah, if you're not a pro wrestler, if you're not on the show, don't hang out in the back.
I like it. That's a good one. Yeah. And I mean, that's as good a way to.
Everyone's gonna be so pissed at me. Everyone's gonna be like, "What do you mean by that?" Watch. Like, honestly, like sometimes I go in the back and I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" And it's like, "Oh, he helped, bring in the case of fucking whatever." I'm like, "All right, well, why does he have to be out back here?" You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just
know your role is what he's saying.
That sounds like such a dick. Oh my god, I know.
No, but the back area is not. It's not meant for fans.
It's not hanging out. It's not. No, if you're a fan, do not. I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care who you are. If you're a fan, do not go back there. You are not allowed back there. I'm talking about like
a lot of those guys though that I'm saying that are assisting and stuff. Sure. They're just fans, so they want to.
Yeah, I'm sure like trainees, like they're training and they help put the ring. So they put up the ring and then they're just hanging out in the back the whole time. No, go watch the show.
That's a very good point. Every time I hear about somebody's stuff being stolen backstage, I wonder if it was someone who wasn't supposed to be there.
True.
Yeah.
So that's always true.
You're not wrong, and it's funny how they get out of there that quick, man. I mean,
yeah, but I'm like, if you help, like you're just a beginner. Because I used to, like, when I would help put up the ring, I would put up the ring, I would set it up, I would make sure, and then once the show started, I would just be in the audience because nobody knows who the fuck I am. I'm just some trainee guy. I'm showing, I'm helping out. I'm getting the crowd riled up. You know what I mean? If you don't want to do that, just kind of hang on the side. Don't go in the back. Just don't go in the back. Don't pretend like, you're part of the crew. You know what I mean? Yeah, you helped out, but you don't see the stage hands hanging out, in the dressing rooms. You know what I mean? It's separate. You know what I mean? Everyone's got to be a part of the show. Yes, we all like to hang out and talk with, going back there and hang out with the wrestlers, the ones that, were, are on Impact, because, the Circle 6 locker room, it's a who's who of professional wrestling. So I get it. You want to be back there, but no, go sit in the stands. Go watch the merch table. Make sure nobody steals anything. You know, you'll get your chance. When you start, you know, it's like a rite of passage. When you actually become a pro wrestler and you have your first match, then you get to be in the back, and it'll mean a lot more if you're actually there and you belong there.
Valid point.
I like it. That was a good answer. You know, I like it, man. I've enjoyed this conversation, dude. We definitely got to link up come the 9th, dude, and definitely get into some shit.
Sure.
And I'm just throwing it out there because I've already put this offer out there to Ninja Mac and a few other people. And as you can see, if you've already hit that,
I will chop you.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say that because I'm not stupid, but
Okay.
what I was gonna say is, you know, usually whenever we travel other places, we end up training with people. Like we were just in, I was just in Vegas, got to go through Extreme Couture and go kick it there and train a little bit, whatever. When you come in, when I come out to LA next year, man, I'm gonna have to come link up with you, dude. We'll have to see what's happening with some of this training stuff, dude.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm in the Bay Area, so I'm up north. So if you're ever in the NorCal, if you're ever in like San Francisco, Oakland area, by all means, you can come and train. You know, we'll go train some pro wrestling. We'll go train some MMA.
That would be dope, dude. I know I'll be there from Thursday to Tuesday, so I'll be in LA, I'll be in San Diego, and whoever knows what else, because I'm probably gonna go try to see my homie Miles Jury out there at Allegiance over there from Bellator. Shout out Fury, but yeah, man. If I'm ever in town or you ever out in Detroit, man, you got to give Knockouts and 3 Counts. Give us a ring, man. But before I let you out of here, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can find your stuff at, and let them know what you got cooking and why they should check out Circle 6.
Well, you know, you can follow me on. I'm on Twitter at Snoring Elbow. I'm hilarious.
Great Twitter handle.
Thank you. And follow me on Instagram, but I barely post on Instagram because, you know, I'm more funny than good looking, obviously, as you can tell. So I'm not too much on Instagram, but it's at Vinnie Massaro. West Coast Pro Wrestling is, you know, my home base in San Francisco, California. Circle 6 is my home away from home. So please always support Circle 6 wherever you are. Yeah, man, just support indie wrestling. Supporting the wrestling. Like I said, I have a school in Pacifica, California. Send me a DM. Follow West Coast Pro Wrestling. Follow Circle 6, and yeah, and support you guys. You know, make sure you guys.
Hell yeah! Follow Knockouts and 3 Counts too.
For sure. And
hell yeah, man.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys doing this for you know, for indie wrestling and everything. I appreciate you guys.
No, man, we appreciate the time, dude. We appreciate the time, and that's one thing, you know, I've told people since we started, you know, that's kind of like our show started kind of grassroots, where we were just bringing on a lot of the guys and girls that you saw fighting around here in Michigan, or, you know, the wrestlers that were on their way up. So at this point, getting to have so many people on there, one thing that we've talked about on multiple times is we're never going to get away from, you know, bringing on the indie talent and all that stuff, because without that, dude, there is no wrestling. And to be honest, some of the best shows I've seen have been out on the indies. And hey, like I said, dude, a lot of the people that have been on this show have become like family for us. So like I said, I, for one, am more than happy to have guys like yourself and more on the show whenever that comes. So like I said, if you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you stay tuned. This Thursday, yeah, that's right, I said this Thursday at 9 p.m., we're going to be joined by Ryan McKinnell of MMA Today and Busted Open Radio from SiriusXM. He'll be joining us Thursday. We're going to give you our preview for AEW All Out before I drive my car down to Chicago and see if the place blows up. So you got to make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And until next time, and in the in-between time, peace.